Interview 1. Studies have shown that charter schools don't typically outperform public schools and often tend to increase racial and class segregation. Why do you think parents often favor their children going to a charter school rather than a public one?
Well, I think that charter schools, whether they're true or not, have a better reputation and provide a better education. I think that's what parents believe is out there. That may or may not be true. But charter schools, if they're funded by corporations and things like that, may be able to fund better programs, because if they're funded through corporations, large corporations might have more money to fund specific programs, whether it's academics or sports or things like of that nature. So that might have a better program all around for the student.
Number 2, according to the National Center for Education Statistics, the number of U.S. charter schools has gone up by 7%. Why do you think in the last 10 years there has been a big push for building more charter schools?
I think because the public schools in general, a lot of them, if it's government funded public schools, a lot of programs have been cut. Public schools have let people down in the last 10 years as far as getting a quality education for their children, whereas charter schools, you have corporations funding them to be able to provide better teachers, maybe help pay better salaries, help pay for more programs. So I think through that's why they've become more popular, because public schools have been letting them down in the past.
Number 3, the main demand for charter schools has come from the distrust in the government and Americans believing their children are getting a full education or not getting a full education in public school. Do you believe the government has done a good job providing citizens with free education?
I believe the government has not done a good job providing free education in general, just because there's been a lot of statistics showing that public schools have not been providing enough quality education. You've got a lot of public schools in the urban communities that have problems, have gang violence, this and that. I know that attendance has been down in a lot of public schools. And like you said before, with the distrust in the government, I think they've let everyone down in the last 10 years. And that's why there's a need for charter schools, for the corporations to get involved and help pay for education.
Okay. 4, there's often a stereotype that students applying to colleges with the name of a charter or private school listed have a better chance of getting accepted into the college of their choice. Do you believe in this stereotype, if it's real or ever was?
I don't think it's real. I think colleges are looking for diversity amongst, what public school they went to, what their academics were, what their grade point was, what their community service was, and things like that. I think their colleges now are looking for more diversity within each student that applies to that college, and not whether they went to a charter school or not. I think they look at the whole picture of the student, everything that they've done and achieved within their community.
Okay. And last question. Public education is a multi-billion industry often created to benefit those in power. However, most schools are often overpopulated and underfunded, therefore making schools cut art programs and more. In your opinion, where do you think all the money is going?
I think a lot of the money is being wasted. I don't think it's being monitored properly. That's why there's been cuts. I can't tell you where the money's going, but a lot of government money that's being spent, there's a lot of wasteful programs out there within the government, and I don't think there's enough oversight to see how the government is spending money on each program, whether it's education. So I think just in general, obviously spending in this country, we're at $19 trillion in debt. Our government is spending, and not monitoring what that money's doing, where it's going, and how productive it's being. So I think that's a huge problem in general in this country, how the government spends money.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.